Alright, imagine being locked up in prison, right? Every day feels the same. But this one dude? Nah, he was built different. He did not just sit around waiting. This guy had a plan. So every single day, without fail, he walked past the prison. Guard like, "Yo, what's up?" But in his head, full spy mode. Eyes locked on the key swinging from the guard's belt. He was not just looking, he was studying it. Like, with Sherlock Holmes level detail. Then, back in his cell, he would grab his pencil and start sketching. And not just once. He would draw that key dozens of times, over and over again, until the shape was burned into his brain. The level of commitment? Insane. But that was only the beginning. Next, dude lights a match. Yeah, like full-on movie scene. And starts staring into the keyhole of his cell. Now you might be wondering, how do you even know what's inside a keyhole? Bro figured it out. He pressed a piece of white paper into the lock, super gently, then rolled it like a scroll. Boom. Now he had a contour of the inside. He compared that print to his drawings, cross-referencing like some kind of mad scientist. But sketches were not enough. He had to build the key. That was the next mission. Problem? Materials. He's in prison. You do not just walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, can I borrow a key-making kit?" But this guy, who people said had an IQ of like 50, came up with the craziest idea. Wood. Yeah. Wood. It is not strong like metal, obviously, and it breaks super easily. But if the shape is perfect, it might just be enough to turn the lock. So, when the prison assigned him to the workshop, this dude was ready. He crafted a prototype, sneaking wood scraps here and there. And when it was time to hide it, man wrapped it in a wet towel and shoved it inside his thermos like some prison-level magic trick. But then, danger. A guard suddenly started checking everyone's thermos bottles. Like, literally walking up, shaking them, peeking inside. Dude's heart was probably doing backflips, but when the guard grabbed his and shook it, nothing. The towel worked. Guard gave it back. Mission success. From there, he just needed to polish the wood, glue the pieces, and voila. He had himself a working wooden key. The glue, stolen from the workshop too. Crafty little genius. But unlocking one door was not enough. This prison had 2 doors per cell, and that meant he needed to make a bunch more keys. So whenever he got a chance, he would stare at the keys on different guards like he was burning the shape into his mind. Soon, he had the hang of it. Wherever he went, he kept a tiny file hidden so he could adjust the key shape instantly. But then, disaster struck. One day, the key he was using snapped. And not just broke, it got stuck inside the keyhole. And guess what? A prison guard was walking his way. Fast. His homie, Mark, saw what happened and boom, threw him a screwdriver. Our guy scrambled, digging into the lock, trying to pull the broken piece out, just in time. The fat prison guard, dude sounded like a beast, walked in. And our man, cool as ice, pretended to clean the place like nothing had happened. The guard just sighed, wiped his sweat, and left. Legend. So now, this guy knows, one key is not enough. If he wants out, really out, he's got to unlock multiple doors. Like, dozens. And it is not like the guards are making it easy. Every key is a little different. Every door's got its own weird personality. But our dude? He is relentless. Every chance he gets, he glances at the guards' belts, memorizing key shapes like flashcards before a math test. And when he gets back to the workshop, he starts carving again, one by one. Each key gets filed, glued, polished, and tested. But there is a new problem. They need to figure out how to actually open the door from inside the cell. Like, imagine having the key, but no way to reach the lock from behind bars. It is torture. That is when Mark, the guy's closest homie, gets a big brain idea. Tie the key to a string and try to swing it into the keyhole. Simple enough, right? Nope. They fool. Try. Again and again. But no matter how many times they pull, the key never turns. It just dangles there, looking useless. Because there is no way to twist it from that angle. So one day, while our guy's back in the workshop, probably frustrated as hell, he looks over and sees a lathe spinning. Light bulb moment. He grabs some spare wood, carves out a little wheel, and attaches it to the key like a crank. With the wheel, he can now rotate the key once it is inside the lock. But there's a twist, literally. He has to lean out the tiny window, line up the contraption with the lock, and spin it from the other side. Like threading a needle blindfolded. It takes him days. But then, one night, click. The lock turns. The door opens. And dude, he is losing it. He is so hyped, so in shock, he nearly forgets to grab the key again. And right when he reaches for it, boom, it drops, clatter. That key hits the floor like a mini heart attack. And guess what? Footsteps. A guard is coming. Fast. Dude. Scrambles. But there is no time. He cannot open the door. He cannot leave it. He needs to get that key now. And that's when he remembers. He still has a piece of chewing gum. Bro chews it like his life depends on it. Because, it kinda does. Sticks it on the end of a wooden stick and gently, swoosh, scoops up the key like a prison MacGyver. He hides it, dives into bed, heart still pounding like a speaker on max bass. Next morning, he tells his boys. They are stoked, like full hype mode. And that night, they go into stealth mode. He builds a fake dummy in his bed, blankets, pillows, the whole thing, so it looks like he is sleeping. Then, when the music that signals lights out plays, he quietly opens the cell door. No creaks, no noise, pure silence. Shoes? Nah. Barefoot. They sneak, out like shadows, and head for the next iron gate. He pulls out the key, tries it. Nope, wrong one. Sweat starts dripping. This is do or die. Another key. Still. Nope, another. Click. The gate opens, but the moment they think they are good, footsteps. He locks it back fast and hides again in a nearby supply room. Only problem? The door does not shut. The latch is broken. Ugh, the fat guard is coming closer, wheezing up the stairs, heavy boots shaking the hallway. They are cornered. Dude pushes with all his strength, but the door just will not stay closed. And then, blessing from the escape gods, Mark finds a wire and uses it to pull the door shut from inside. They are safe, but barely. And here is the craziest part. The guard sees drops of sweat on the floor, and for a second, he stops. Looks around. Whose sweat is this? I am not sweating. The panic is real, but then, he looks up at the ceiling, shrugs, and says, leak? Bro, they were seconds from being caught. Everyone inside is straight up holding their breath like their lives depend on it. Because they do. The guard walks off. They exhale for the first time in minutes. They hide the key in a jar, and everyone crashes hard. No one wakes up until another inmate bangs the bars the next morning. So the next morning, everything feels off. The guy wakes up late. Like, really late. Way past the usual wake-up call. And suddenly, bam, there's a loud knock. The prison captain is at his door. He knows. Our dude's heart drops to the floor. He tries to stay chill, but the moment the captain locks eyes with him, game over. The man starts firing off questions like a machine gun. Why were you sleeping? So late? Where were you last night? Our guy? Bro is scrambling. He has no excuse, no story, no backup plan. All he can do is apologize over and over, trying not to stutter. Then it gets worse. One of the guards finds a piece of broken wood from one of the failed keys, right there, on the floor, exposed, busted. It could blow the entire operation. But then, this guy, man, he pulls a plot twist straight out of a Netflix drama. He goes, "Oh, that? It is part of the photo holder I made, to frame a picture of my son." Silence. The captain stares at him, eyes narrowed, suspicious. But then, just when it seems like he is going to snap, he nods. Buys it. Crisis dodged. Barely. But our guy knows. Time is up. No more waiting. If he delays even one more day, they are all getting caught. So he kicks the plan into high gear. Every chance he gets, he writes down new key shapes, carves more wooden copies, and hides them out near the vegetable garden during work duty. At this point, he has made keys for 15 different gates, plus 24 extras just in case something goes sideways. But there is one more thing they need to escape, a city map. So he asks his boy Martin, who handles trash runs, to do a risky trade. Grab a newspaper that has a city grid on it. In return, Martin wants a pack of smokes and a bar of soap. Fair deal. The next night, Martin gives him the signal. Mission accomplished. But, it is never that simple. Turns out, the guards were watching, spotted the whole exchange. The next day, Martin is gone. Word hits fast. They hanged him, just like that. The message is crystal clear. Snitches, traitors, or runners. They get erased. Our guy hears the news, and something inside him just flips. He is done waiting. No more stalling. Tonight's the night. But when he shares the plan with the older inmates, they just shake their heads, laugh it off. They have been here too long, too tired, too broken. They say, "You try to escape, you will die before you get 100 feet out." And maybe they are right. But the guy and his two best friends, they are already all in. So that night, it begins. He unlocks the cell, releases his boys. They head to a dark corner, switch into regular clothes they stashed weeks ago, and prep for the run. But fate is not done messing with them. The fat guard shows up again. Big guy walks into the utility room, looking around, and somehow, he spots something weird. A wire sticking out of the door lock. Danger. Again. The crew panics. At the same time, the kitchen crew, who are secretly helping, arrive at the first checkpoint. But they hear footsteps, fast ones. No time, they retreat, hide, silent. Meanwhile, back in the utility room, the guy tries to fix the door. But the wire? Gone. Gone. He is freaking out, trying not to make noise because the big guard is now climbing the stairs. Slowly. Yeah. But every step sounds like thunder. Time is running out. And just when it feels like everything is going to fall apart, one of the old inmates, the ones who refuse to join, starts yelling from upstairs, creating a distraction. Just like that. The guard freezes, listens, then turns. Climbs toward the noise. The moment he is gone, the squad moves. They rush toward the next gate. One dude opens it, another closes it behind. Like a relay team from hell. They are locked in, zoned out, running on adrenaline. They get to the next door. Mark swears it needs a roundhead key. The guy swears it is flathead. They start arguing, voices getting tense. But then Charlie, the chill one, steps in like, "Guys, shut up and just try the key." They cycle through a few. Nothing. Works. Footsteps. Again. Closer. Sweat is dripping. Breaths are sharp. But finally, one key clicks. The door creaks open. They step through. And behind them, they slam it shut. So boom. The door slams shut behind them. And suddenly, it's real. No more test runs. No more what if. This is it. The escape is officially on. The three of them, our main dude, Mark and Charlie, are now deep in the belly of the beast. Every step echoes. Every sound feels louder than it should be. Every second feels like an hour. But they move. Fast. Silent. Focused. They know the route. They have the map, and they have the keys. But the pressure? Unreal. At the next door, they move like a unit. One of them opens, another watches the hallway. The last one? Already prepping the next key. Every move is rehearsed. Flawless. Until Mark freezes. At the final door, he is holding a key in his hand, and something feels off. He is like, "This needs the roundhead one." But our guy shakes his head, almost growling, "No, it is flat. I carved this one myself." And now they are arguing again, voices rising, time slipping. Then, click, a door opens down the hall, footsteps, heavy, fast. That same fat guard, coming straight for them. Charlie, trying to keep the peace, just grabs the key and shoves it into the lock. It turns. It works. They shove the door. Open. And there it is. Freedom. But wait. Mark almost bolts forward like it is over. But the other two yank him back just in time. Above them? A guard is patrolling, flashlight in hand, boots crunching the walkway. They hold still, breathing shallow, hearts pounding like drums. Finally, the guard passes. They use that one moment to make their move. Down the hall, through the final gate, and straight out into the world. The second they step outside, it hits them. Cold air, real silence, and the sound of their own heartbeat in their ears. For the first time in forever. No bars, no locks, no chains. But they are not safe yet. They need to blend in, fast. They keep walking. No running, no eye contact, just act normal. Like regular dudes on a late-night walk. Once they hit the main road, they flag down a taxi. Inside, it's dead quiet. No one says a word, just eyes on the mirror. Watching, waiting. The taxi drives off, toward the city, toward freedom. Meanwhile, back in the prison, chaos. The guards start their morning check, opening cell doors one by one. Then they get to the guy's cell. They open it, empty. At first, silence, then panic. The alarm gets raised, guards start yelling, running, searching every hallway, every corner. But it is too late. The guy, gone. And you know what? That old prisoner who said the plan was dumb? He just starts laughing, right there, in his cell. Not because he is mad, but because they actually did it. He cannot believe it. But at the same time, he regrets not going with them. And here's the thing. This is not just some movie script. This story, it is real.